Welcome back, everybody. Hot Mic live on location here. Bison Pro Day as the drills are underway. These are the ones that are happening away from the playing field. So we've got the vertical leap going on and the bench press. Our guy, Sam Getzinger, is all over it right now. Here's a couple updates on that. Kyle made me laugh there on the air about Sam doing the bench press with a vertical, which would be fantastic television. Mason Miller had 30 reps on the bench. Eli Mostart went 27 reps there. Nick Kubich just uncorked a 41-inch vertical. You heard right off the top that Tim Polisic told us he thought if there's any player that was going to test really well, Kubitz was the guy that came right to mind. So they're doing that. Cam Miller actually is about to do his vertical. So once that's done, I believe Kevin is his dad is gonna come over here and join us for a few minutes. And obviously on a huge day for what potentially could be for the Bison quarterback. And we can go through a little bit of the video. Kyle, if you want to play a little bit of the Shrine game for those that missed what Cam did, that was in North Texas of all places. It was in Denton, just north of Frisco. Of course, the game was played in Frisco. And Cam had a really good week leading up to it. The game itself, he scored a couple touchdowns. He did have a couple fumbles on some bad exchanges between him and the center, which you heard Gray Zabel describe that yesterday when he was on the show. But all in all, Cam had a really, really good week from all the intents and purposes of the people we've talked to over the last couple of months. I think there was still a genuine sense of shock that he did not get a combine invite, considering some that either weren't going to throw or didn't go to the combine, but he did not get that. So that's why today becomes even more important, because of the fact that he didn't have a chance to go to Indianapolis, and we're going to see more scouts here today. So when he gets out here to throw, and he's going to be throwing to guys that he knows well, and Braylon Henderson is going to be out here. A couple other guys, Joe Stuffle, guy that he's thrown to for the last 5 years. These are guys that he's become comfortable with. That can go a long, long way in having this be a good day. Everything is scripted out in terms of what they want to see from Cam and how he wants to perform, and that's the really important thing that we'll see out of him. We have another video here as well of all the players that are going today. And just to reiterate, all the guys, there are 13 separate players that are going to be participating here today. Obviously, Eli Mostart, Mason Miller are out here. Gray Zabel, Cam Miller as part of this. Griffin Crosa, the kicker. Nick Kubich, TK Marshall as part of this, the running back. You've got Loshaka Rokes on the defensive line being a part of this. So you've got a little bit of mix of the entire roster from different position groups that are getting their chances to get out here in front of the scouts here today. And that's the also intriguing part of what this can be. Next up, I believe, after they get done with the vertical and the bench, I think is the 40. Traditionally, that's what has come up, and they're going to have different drills. Now, if you missed our conversation with Gray yesterday, he reiterated that he's going to do some of the offensive line position group stuff, but everything is done for what he did at the combine. He's not going to run a 40. No real need to do that. That the analytics, and you heard Polisic talk about this off the top, that they can pretty much round it off to what he would literally run in a 40-yard dash, which is amazing to considering he didn't even do it. That's where the technology is at this point, is remarkable. So it's going to be fun to see for what this plans out. And I know for some people that don't follow football that maybe this is like, I don't get why this is such a big deal. It's a huge deal because the opportunity to actually launch themselves to have a chance to potentially get drafted. There he is, the man himself, going to join us here after Cam Miller got done with his. Can you tell us? Do you know you can put that? What was the vertical? We know
32.
That's pretty good.
Not bad.
That's not bad.
I think that is the range that he wanted to be in, somewhere around there. So
it's
nice
great to see you, bud. How you
Thank
been?
You. I've been great. Thank you for having me.
So this is a pretty big day. Just as dad, what emotions about this, about getting to see him come out here and throw in front of the scouts and the coaches that are here today?
You know, we spoke about this earlier, even last night. It's a celebration, really, of all the hard work and all the things that he's done to position himself to be where he's at. And it's really a testament to his coaches here, his quarterback coach, everyone that has, provided opportunities for him to develop. We're very grateful, my wife and I, of the opportunities that he's been afforded. And I think for the most part, Cam has made the most of those opportunities. And I know he's invested in doing the right things. And to see that all come to fruition has been very, very rewarding from a parent standpoint.
We had Tony Racioppi on from New Jersey. Cam's been out there for basically the last 2.5 months as quarterback coach. What has he individually been working on to get ready here for today?
I think footwork. Obviously, I think it all starts at the quarterback position with having good footwork, having a good base. And Tony really keeps it simple. And honestly, his development as a quarterback really took off. Obviously, Randy had a lot to do with Cam's development, no question about it. But Tony was able to add just some additional value to the mechanical side of it. And after working with Tony, he was just able to sharpen up some of just the throwing mechanics and the footwork that helped him further, expand his ability to perform at the level that he needs to. And obviously, Coach Polasek has done a great job as well in assisting Cam in his progression, especially affording him the opportunities to get the ball out quicker, to read, more swiftly, and to get the ball out on time, and to work through his progressions, just at a quicker rate. So that's really also, I think, helped him tremendously in his development.
I thought it was ironic, of all places that Cam got invited to All-Star game was in North Texas and Denton, and the game was in Frisco. Give me your sense of what the week was like. He certainly seemed like he helped himself for the 7 days at the Shrine game.
I think he did help himself. It was obviously an eye-opening experience initially, but I felt like it helped him recognize that I belong. I think sometimes at the FCS level, in the back of your mind, am I good enough? And I think what it did is it reaffirmed to him that I do belong here, throwing with the likes of Kyle McCord and some of the elite quarterbacks there. And Noah
Shador was there, yeah.
Exactly,
yep.
That I'm in the same, I'm not that much different from them. But it was funny. After the game, he's like, I looked up across the line of scrimmage on the first couple plays. I'm like, I haven't played against guys that quite look that big. But I think it really just affirmed that I have the ability to play at an elite level, and it provided him some confidence in that if I keep doing the right things, I'm going to position myself for additional opportunities down the road.
I know how much he takes things that maybe a slight or something that didn't come his way personally. How much do you think the Combine invite did he take as fuel to the fire for here today?
I think it definitely fueled the fire because he felt like he had done enough to earn the opportunity to perform with the likes of the elite quarterbacks in the country. But at the same time, as you know, that's served as fuel for him, and it has throughout his career. But he needs to harness that in a positive way and not allow, those type of situations, to bitter him. And I don't think it has. I think it's just motivated him to continue to invest in doing the right things.
I know how passionate Solon is for high school, for football in general. What is it like been back there knowing Cam's get this attention and maybe capped off here in a month with something really, really special?
It's special. There's no question about it. It's a smaller community, a smaller school, and we've been blessed with some really good football players, to say the least. And so I think that is just confirmed that, Solon is a special place and has a great pool of football players, great athletes, and great support from the community. And I'm just really happy for him. And obviously our family and our friends are excited about the opportunity, but we understand that, a lot of people have contributed to his growth and his progress and development. And we're just very appreciative. You get to this point, and you reflect back, even when he was a kid, this was a dream of his. Yeah. And he told his mother, I want to play in the NFL. And even some of his teachers, when he was in first grade, he'd write pictures in orange and black of all the football, Solon football. And they're like, you need to start writing, having other stories and other pictures that aren't about football. And he's like, well, this is what I'm going to do when I grow up. And he's just always had that mindset. He knew what he wanted to do, but he's had, some good fortune along the way. He's been obviously blessed not to have any major injuries.
Yes.
Honestly, you look at, he hasn't missed a game here.
No.
And
it's remarkable.
It is really remarkable. And I think that's also a testament to the training staff, Coach Kramer, and all of the professionals that have had the opportunity to work with Cam along the way.
As a dad, as a parent, to see and I think there's a lot of latecomers to the party for Bison football fans, and I'll call them out on this. Like, boy, Cam, how great he was after the year he had this year, beating South Dakota State twice and beating Montana State twice. To see that kind of affection for him now, how much is that? Like, boy, well, he took a lot of BS maybe early in his career to see this now in the back end. How do you handle that as dad?
That's what it's about.
Yeah.
Honestly, for him growing as a man. You look back to his sophomore year when Quincy came in and was the starter, and that was a rocky place for him, but it was a really, I think, golden opportunity for him to grow and develop as a man and just to cement his commitment to doing things even at a higher level. And I believe that ascended his growth, and I don't think they win a national championship that year if it wasn't for that situation. And it also helped him better understand and clarify what he needed to do to become the player that he needed to do. Instead of playing the victim card, we talked about how you control the response. Yeah. Are you doing everything that you need to do to get better? And are you taking advantage of all the opportunities that are being provided for you? Or have you just succumbed to the reality that you're the backup? But you need to prepare like you're the starter, and you need to change your mentality. And I think that has served him well in his growth, and to see it all come full circle, obviously, and because you're as a quarterback, you're always going to be criticized and scrutinized. That comes with the territory, both good and bad. And to see it all come to life, winning the national championship this past year, but seeing his growth as a man and how much he is just developed in his character, that is what I'm proud of, and I know his mom feels the same way.
So great to see you. Thanks so much for popping in on a busy day. Enjoy this. We'll be in touch soon, okay?
Thank you, Dom. Appreciate everything that you've done for the football program and for our son.
Appreciate it. Kevin Miller, Cam's dad, joining us here on site. We'll take our last break. We'll come back. We'll wrap things up as the drills continue. Much more coverage coming throughout the day on WDAY. We'll wrap up Hot Mic right after this.